Alright. Ready, set? I gotta get water. Or I'm not gonna be able. I just ate that caramel. So much sugary stuff. Watch out, Artie. Take it easy. Let me get a drink here. Bless you, Artie Pants. Bless you, Artie Pants. Handsome Artie Pants, I love you. Hello, welcome to my tube, my tiny little tube. My name is Margie. I'm Heyoka Empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. That's Benno hitting that hydration station. They get fresh water. Clean water source is important. Benny, don't do this, man. Come here. He does this every single time. He was just out, so I know he don't gotta go out. Come on. Don't be a D-bag. Come on, go lay down. Go. He's my, gosh, they all have their own will. If they could just keep it in line with how I want them to act, kinda, I'm happy most days. Anyway, today was a pretty wild day. I didn't think it was gonna be. It was Saturday. Right, it's real pretty as one of those cloudless days here in northern New Mexico. And Scorpio energy. I'm like, I'm not even going through town today. On the way there, I went back roads all the way to the coffee shop. My buddy bought me a cup of coffee. Took him to go see his horses. That part was pretty chill. Got to hang out, have a safety meeting. It's kind of awkward there for a while because there was like somebody there that like, I don't know, kept interjecting himself into the space, and he wasn't really, his energy wasn't really welcome, you know? So that was kind of awkward and weird, but oh well. Now Luna Tickles, now she's hitting the hydration station. Goodest girl. So then I decided, well, I gotta go get Sassy. There's Stan Lee. He came over and freaking we had a love fest this afternoon. It was pretty cool. He was so lovey. Oh, Stan Lee. Cute as can be, Stan Lee. The goodest cat. Whatever is going on with him doesn't seem to be getting any worse, and he had a little, like, a road rash on his chin, but that's even subsiding. Anyway, he's all right today, and this is the only day we got. So I get this soft canned food to mix my mom's dog, Sass. She's 18. So she gets special additives in her food. I put extra stuff to make it easier for her to eat and stuff. Mash and soak her food, mash it up, and so I had to go by the pet food store that had it, and went and did that. That's a pretty pleasant exchange. And knowing it's Scorpio season, man, I'm Scorpio moon. I know that people have all this angst. This just everybody's up here. It's like motorcycles or cars everybody's revving their engines, right? See, and I've had that rev in me my whole entire life. I've had that rev. I've had to learn how to keep it down here, and I'm trying to help other people that even if you rev high, that you can freaking coast and chill and freaking not engage. And it's important more and more. And so after it keeps flashing in my head, and I was like, oh man. Anyway, so I was heading down the main drag to go home after I got the dog food, and I was at the intersection right in front of Albertsons, and it's about 12:15. Benny, come here. No, don't you go over there and start barking. I ain't gonna have that right now. Lay down. And I see I'm at the intersection, I'm coming up at the intersection, and I felt compelled to like grab your phone, Marge. And I was like, no, but I didn't listen to it, okay? I didn't listen to it. And it was, I keep it down on my and like on the charger, and it has a little pocket in between the bucket seats in the minivan, and that's where it sits. And I had this like and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I just blatantly ignored it. And there was across, I shouldn't laugh. Nobody was hurt. I mean, the guy got, anyway. So across the intersection, I see this white car, and then there's like there's this guy on a motorcycle, and then behind the car, there's like 3 other motorcycles, right? And like their light turned, and it was like the car wanted to be in the motorcycle's lane, and the dude on the motorcycle wanted to be in the car's lane. But that's what it was. It was both of their fucking egos, okay? All I saw is these 2 egos. Only one ego was on a motorcycle, and the other ego was in a small sedan family car, like an Altima or something. I got the first 3 letters of the 614 was it 612? 612 was the first 3 letters. And anyway, so it was this ego thing, and they freaking both turned into each other. It's like they were trying to cut each other off, and the freaking the white car freaking just nailed the guy on the motorcycle. The guy went down, just boom, like a sack of tomatoes, just went down on the ground. And then the freaking white car took off. He stopped right like past me. I looked around, and I looked right at his license plate, and I was like, man, that was fucked up, man. I was yelling out the window. There was there was a gal. I was gonna pull off into the turning lane because I was behind a gal, and she was like getting out of her phone. I think she was trying to call 911. She was in shock. I was like, girl, you got to get out of the intersection, girl. You can't be blocking the intersection. And I was telling her, and this dunce in the fucking middle of the road thought I was talking to him and like all the people, and he's like, shut up, bitch. I'm like, who the fuck? See, that's the thing, is people that have that don't handle emergency situations a lot. They just freaking lose their minds. The girl in the car blocking the intersection. Oh my God, I'm trained to, what do I do? You don't know what to do. Get out of the way and let the people that fucking know what to do handle the shit. Get out of the intersection. You're blocking traffic. Yeah, you know? So I got out of the intersection, and I was like, you know what, Marge? There's enough people here. They got this. So I went on and went home and made mom lunch. But I'm just like, you know what? If I don't learn from the examples that people are giving me every day, how important is it, Marge? How important is it? People really got to choose their battles, man. And people are just going around up here like this, and everything's a battle. And it's just like, really? Really? You would have seen that guy freaking dump off that motorcycle? I bet he wasn't thinking that battle was that big of a deal right then. And then the freaking car took off. The car took off, and then another motorcycle went after him. So, you know, I was not impressed by the hospital in Taos, their response time. Took them a while to get there. I'd like pull through the parking lot, stop to tell somebody what I just saw, because they had people out front. I don't know, probably giving freaking who knows, but they were pushing something out in their little tent. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was a hit and run, dude. It's freaking gnarly. Chances are the person who did it's related to somebody in some position, so probably nothing will happen to him. Maybe a couple weeks in jail or something like that. I don't know. But tempers are flaring, man. Tempers. Yeah. Gotta ask yourself. You know? Is your ego so important, or am I saying this to myself, or am I able to yield? You know what, mofo? Whatever, after you, dick face. It's your world. I'm just living in it, cocksucker. You know, but let them go ahead. People are freaking got something to prove. They're gonna learn lessons today, man. Oh, so many lessons. That was an expensive lesson in the boat, because both of those people, you know, and when I get worked up about stuff, you know, I ask myself, Marge, you know, because I got a pretty good standing, right? I haven't put my hands on someone out of anger, drawing first blood or whatever, ever. It's always been out of self-defense, right? So now, that was crazy, man. It just all day long, I kept playing this car and the motorcycle just driving into each other, like on the loop, just drive. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, what was so important? What was so important that you know? People drive around in these 2-ton, 3-ton vehicles, and they don't value life. They don't respect life. I don't even like backing up or pulling into a parking place if somebody's walking by it, because I'm still, I don't like pointing my car at pedestrians. I got hit by a dumb bitch when I was in Oregon in the sidewalk. She freaking hit me in the knee with their SUV, and if there wasn't a car there on the sidewalk, I was smacking their hood. I was walking past, because she about put me out of this. This lady almost hit me, and this other lady was turning in the same parking lot and pinned me against the two cars. I'm like, you're fuck. That was a weird day. Oregon sucked. So, you don't point vehicles at people. You don't point guns at people. Make believe. You just don't do it. Unless somebody's threatening your life. Why are you hanging out with people where somebody's threatening your life to begin with? Things are getting weird, man. So trippy. So, anyway, that was my day, seeing a hit and run right there in the intersection. It's just like, what? Where are you gonna go? Frickin'. What are you gonna do? You think you're gonna get out of this one there? Just take your lumps, man. You know, you panicked, you ran off. They left a freaking trail of debris, you know, from the front headlight and stuff. And you know what was kind of ironic is, like, my buddy at the coffee shop this morning, he was all fired up and mad when he got there because he was looking up at a hawk, and he freaking ran into one of his other vehicles because he wasn't paying attention. You know, so it's the crash, it's the break, it's the release. You know, but people play the tape through, man. You start getting in a heated match or something, it's against the law to assault people. It is. It's against the law to do that. So, I guess if people are willing to deal with the consequence of their actions, have at it. I would feel terrible if I hit a person on a motorcycle. It does not take much. I remember we were doing laundry, Mom, on Bocelli Lane. No, not Bocelli. Lake Boulevard, next to that food and liquor place. We were at the laundromat right next door to that, right by Keswick Dam Boulevard, the end of there. And there was a liquor store on the other side of that there. And I was looking out the window, and I saw a freaking motorcycle going about 70 miles an hour. I freaking saw it go by the window. I went like that. It went out of the, because where the window was, it went out of my line of sight, which is probably good, because there was a car or a truck towing a boat that pulled out, and that freaking motorcycle hit that boat 70 miles an hour, knocked the boat off its trailer at a 45-degree angle, and person died. I didn't need to see that. I saw the after effects, because when I hit, I walked out to see what it was. Yeah. Talk about desensitized, you know. I want to make a world where that stuff doesn't, you know, I mean, you can't create a world where that stuff doesn't happen. Because shoot, everywhere you go, man, people are just careless. They're just careless. They don't value life. They don't recognize that there's spiritual beings having a human experience. So they do dangerous things. And I was talking to somebody today. I'm like, man, people that haven't like had to rehabilitate from something, they don't get it either. You know, people that have like, mom was born with her club feet. My rehabilitation. I didn't ever really have to. I got my leg scraped when I dumped boiling water on when I was 15. I had to go for a week. I had to go to put my leg in a hot whirlpool, and they scrubbed off the dead skin. Well, I'm talking about people that have like, you know, like where you can't get out of bed for days and days and you're relying on other people for your comfort, you know, and sometimes people aren't around to help make you comfortable. So you sometimes you can't scratch that itch. So you got to learn to live with that itch. The world's definitely changing. It's changing so fast, man. I hate to see people do a lot of stuff that they're sorry for. I know what it's like. Because I've done it. I've been the person that freaking gunned it and then, you know what? Slid in the parking lot. Because it's every accident I've ever had, is based on my ego. Every single one. So now I got to ask myself, is it worth it? Is it worth that story? I used to do stuff just for the story. I have so many good stories because I just do stuff so later I can tell it for the story. That's no way to live. Oh, Ma. Mom and I, dear Earth Angel sent me and Ma this, so me and Ma have been watching. I watched this. It was on from 1990 to 1995. Ma just had her stroke. You know that? You had it in 89. This came out in 1990. Ma, she remembers a lot of this. I mean, I remember that. It's cool. I like it. It's intelligent. It's articulate. And I don't know, any show that was on before I found out about what all the Hollywood and TV stuff like that was, still had its wholesomeness. I looked up some of the actors and saw what happened. Ugh, some of them didn't age well. But the guy that Rob Morrow, dude that plays Dr. Joe Fly, I'm like, it's the thing is, like, I used to watch all these old shows and all these old movies when I was a little kid, and I go out in the world and I meet people that are a lot like these characters. They are. It's a trip. It's like watching those shows when I was a kid preempted me and got me ready. Especially the shows like Columbo, man. You want to learn about the narcissist? You want to know everything you can about... Watch some old episodes of Columbo, man. The men and women. They're a trip. There's different degrees and levels and stuff like that, of course. I wonder how many people have thought I was a narcissist, because I like when someone tells a story, I like to relate them to them. I'm not trying to outdo anybody, but I'm just like, oh, okay, that happened to you in life. Here's a similar situation where something like that happened to me. But that could be construed as somebody thinking I make everything about me. I could see how that could go that way. It's all about balance. Most of the time I like to just listen, though. Sometimes I get into a talking mood. Down at the coffee shop, they're like, you could be a comedian, you know it? I'm like, I'm not? Why, just because I ain't never gotten paid for it? Am I not a photographer because I've never been paid for one of my pictures that I've taken, even though I've taken probably 100,000 pictures in my lifetime? I got 50,000 on my freaking... That the cloud lets me have access Because, dude, whatever you put in digital world, I've been in IT. I went to college for IT back in years ago, 2004. I started college for computers and stuff like that. Right when I remember watching Big Hero 6. All this nanotech, all this stuff that go watch Big Hero 6. There's a whole lot of telling in that, It takes place in China, in a fictional city that's a combination between China and San Francisco. Is it a movie that talks about the future? Is that what Big Hero said? I mean, does the future happen because seeds are planted, or is it already designated and people are just giving us glimpses as to what's happening next, I guess it only really matters what happens in close proximity to where you are. I mean, people really don't care about what happens on the other side of the world. I do see that Ghislaine Maxwell, they're going to start doing jury selection for that whack job. That freaking human sex traffic pervert-esque. See, people think that women can't be freaking creepy perverts. That ain't a true story, man. That chick is nasty. Eeh. Chicks like her make me less gay. Ugh. Ugh. She's going. There's special places and freaking dark places for souls like hers. Anyway, I think it'd be rad if they freaking just hauled old boy off when he comes over to. He's trying to get acquitted. The lizard's freaking son, the pervert. Yeah, he's trying to. Oh, but Mummy, can you fix this for me, Mummy? Queen Mummy Lizard, please make this problem go away. All of my perversion. That's what they have all done. They can't, man. Nobody gets to do stuff like that to people for years and years and benefit and just get to go around just living. It don't get to work that way. So karma's coming back around, man. I hope society's ready for it. I really don't want to hear. What I'd like to hear people not say. I'd really like to hear. Those like light beans, us spiritual here for spiritual triage. It's a turn off to hear people say, I told you so. It really is. I just almost poked my own eyeball out. So I'd really like to not see people go around, because I ain't going to really freaking dig your vibe much if the more I see on, so all this on social media about, they're already starting it. They're already starting with this I told you show. That don't mean nothing, dude. Lots of people know what you know, That's just a shallow person. People say things like, I told you so. I never liked that. I don't like the way it feels. So I won't go around saying it because I don't like the way it feels, so. Anyway, I'd like to see that dude get his. There's a lot of people I'd like to see, but we don't always get to see people get their karma. We don't get to all the time. Huh, Luna? No. Oh, well, you just got to know that there's a universal law, and whatever kind of crap you put out there is going to come back and smack you. I was thinking about those people that got in that wreck today. I'm like, man, that was gnarly karma on both their parts, man. They just drove into each other. It was gnarly. So, then I came home and blissed out with Mom, and we watched, she watched some Longmire this afternoon while I meditated, and then came out and watched, we're going to watch a couple episodes of Northern Exposure. And it's very preemptive. It's the programming in that. It's season 1, the first 2 episodes, there was a virus. There's a virus that the whole town got. They didn't wear masks. They didn't stand 6 feet apart. But you know what? When I was freaking in the Air Force and we'd have to do exercises every month back at Offutt, back in 2001, 2002, that whole year, man, we had to, it sucked. It sucked for it was so stupid. 12-hour shifts, 13-hour shift. Yeah. And then they would mimic this stuff. They would act like if there's like a, worldwide virus, and we had to do all the same shit that everybody did for the last year and a half. The one entry point, the one entryway. And they always made it like the farthest one. So like they always did stuff to make it as inconvenient as possible, man. Officers are freaking dumb, dude. Poli-sci fucking degrees and shit like that, and then they go into fucking the air military on their bootstrap programs, and it's just ridiculous. And then they go over and like, if you're a bro and if you're cool, then if you like you make rank, they'll send you over on a deployment right when you do get promoted. So your bonus and all that, because they get like $30,000-$40,000 sign-on bonuses. If you do it over in the desert, that's all tax-free. It's just fucking retarded, dude. Misappropriation of funds all over the place. All in the name of false security, because security ain't nobody we need to be killing in faraway countries. The threat are the people in this country and what they're capable of doing to their neighbors and their friends and their brothers and their families just because they disagree. That's the real threat, man. It's that division with splashes of astrology, and people don't have coping skills and mechanisms. It's gonna be an interesting